Well, hello, ladies.
Hello, how are you guys doing today?
Oh my gosh. Like the
Happy
full
Friday.
moon is really, really shifting. Hey everybody, happy Friday. We're having a good laugh right now because we just spent probably the last 7 minutes having an amazing conversation with you guys here without clicking the live button. So now here we are back again to share Friday with you, and we're so excited to have
But
you here.
guess what? You're never going to forget any of
Never,
us to hit that live button ever again, are we?
never. And this is the way it is. Happy Freedom Fridays, lady. Hey, Kaylee, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing?
So good. How you doing, April?
Awesome. I'm doing great. Thank you.
Thanks for being here. So as I was chatting with the ladies backstage, you know, three to 5 years ago, my life looked completely different on a Friday. I used to travel. I used to work Fridays from 9 a.m. So I started work at 9. So that's not including the time I got up at. And so I would get up probably around 7:30, work from 9 a.m. Friday at my first job. And then I have to go sit in traffic and drive to Toronto and work my second job. And so I worked from 9 a.m. to almost my shift ended at 1:30 in the morning, and I'd get home probably about like 2:15. And I worked Saturdays and Sundays. So I actually only had Mondays off. And that was I had to tell my other job, I said I'm only like I need 1 day off a week. Like I can't physically work 7 days a week. And for 3 years, that was my life. Could you imagine? And now look, it's Friday. I get up whenever I want. I get to hang out with you ladies. It's the middle of the day. It's beautiful out. I'm not on anybody else's schedule.
That's crazy, eh? And you think about, yeah, it was 3 years there, but it could have been so much longer if you didn't make a decision to change it. Where there's people right now, like some of you may be watching, that you've been stuck in the job that you don't like for however many years, and until you make the decision to change it, you're always going to be there.
Yep. And April, like I know your story and what you've told us in different decisions, but I'd love for you, I would love for you to tell the story of your house.
Yeah,
That
for sure.
that story like blows my mind every time I hear it.
I think it's yeah. Okay, let's go there. Let's go to that story. So 5 years ago, we lived in a home in Carleton Place, and it was an older home. It was built in 1938. So it was a beautiful home, and Matt and I fell in love with it when we saw it. But we just had this kind of nervous feeling when we decided to buy it. And at the time, we thought it was nerves of buying our first home, right? Like new couple buying your first home, you're nervous, all of the above. Purchased the home, and I had Liberty. She was 6 months old, little wee baby, little peanut. And we moved in, things were great. And we were struggling. We were, trying to make ends meet with a new mortgage payment and just bills and insurances and all of the above. And then we started to get stressed. So here's where the ball starts rolling. Matt starts getting hurt at work. He gets electrocuted. He gets thrown 10 feet. He dislocates his shoulder. He has to go in for major surgery to have his shoulder rebuilt. I get strep throat continuously, like I want to say every 2 months. I find out I have, hypothyroidism, fibromyalgia. I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. All these things starts happening in this home. We try to have a second child. It's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. Matt gets hurt again. He can't work. He's on WSIB. We can't make ends meet. So all these negative thoughts create this huge ball that just keeps rolling and we can't catch it. Is how I describe it. We couldn't catch up. And we're stressed. And we allow this to go on for 3 years. I get pregnant with our second child. We have Chance. Chance is a beautiful little boy, sick 24/7. So imagine vomiting, diarrhea, crying 24/7. Or like, what is going on? Like, what is happening? I'm not sleeping. I'm barely taking a shower. Someone's holding him so I can just wash off. I'm calling doctors. I'm asking, screaming for help. Everyone's telling me it's a virus. Matt is stressed. I can't go to work at this point because who's going to watch our child who is this ill? Matt's not getting the hours at work because he keeps thinking, and he's so stressed about making ends meet that he's creating this habit and this mindset that he can't make the money and he won't make the money. So we're eating Kraft Dinner noodles to give our children proper food. And this just keeps going. And just imagine the stress. You have 2 children that you're determined to provide for. And you can't. What that does to your mind sticks with you. And finally, we just had this crazy sense in this home that the negative energy was like sucking us dry. Our mindset, our behaviors, our habits, what energy we're putting out to the world. We were just literally law of attraction, attracting more negative energy towards us. December 27th, the day my father passed away, 4 years ago now, we rolled our vehicle on Dwyer Hill Road with our 2 children in the back seat. We left our home to go see our family. And Matt said, I don't know, we should just go really slow. Maybe we should turn around. Our instincts were telling us to go home, but we kept going. We rolled our vehicle. We hit a snowbank. We went up into the air and rolled about 8 times into a ditch. Matt held my hand and said, I love you.
Oh God, I'm not gonna cry.
He said, I love you. I held his hand. Hot coffee splashed into my face. So the smell of coffee now triggers that memory. And all we saw was our children. So we finally stopped rolling. We're upside down. He jumps to the back and I'm like, we have to get our children out. So this is where I started to understand the power of the mind. I am 320 pounds heavy. The door is above my head. I have to reach 6 feet up to wiggle my way out of the door to get my children out of that vehicle. Matt yells at me to turn the car off. He keeps repeating, turn the car off, because we could hear a leak. I pull myself up through the window. Don't know how the hell I did that. Now I know. My mind. I landed headfirst into an ice pool because it was winter, pulled the kids out, and we waited for help on the side of the road. Fast forward a few months, we're in this home. Matt's at work. I'm recovering from severe concussion, burnt nerves in the back of my head. A little bit of loss of memory I'm always going to suffer from, but I've learned to do what I need to do to improve that. And it's a mindset. So I'm going to get past that. Our kids come out, no scratches. Thank the Lord. No injuries. Matt came home one day from work. Chance is still vomiting, puking. Matt doesn't know if he's going to have hours at work. We don't know how we're going to get groceries that night. He came home. I said, I am so done. This house has literally brought so much negative energy to us. We've allowed it to do that to us. We've allowed that energy to control our thoughts. I am done. And I'm on the floor crying, holding Chance. And he said, we're done. We're done. We're getting out of this house. We're done. So we literally packed up. People thought we were crazy because we had 2 kids. We're literally just leaving our home. We packed our shit. We left. We left stuff behind that we didn't need or want. And we left. It was so scary, but now I know fear brings the best of things on the other side.
Yeah.
Because we moved past it, we left the house, we got into another home 6 months later. We decided to change our mindset little by little. Matt got a better job. He became the lead Ford technician at a huge Ford plant. We got a diagnosis for Chance, knowing he has Fragile X. We can now get him treatment. We can now understand what is happening, help him the way we should help him. We go back to our home. We're taking a drive through town. I don't know what made us do this. I drove past our old neighborhood because as soon as you pass by or as soon as we would drive close, we'd always get this anxious feeling. And I said to Matt one day, we have to face it. Like, yeah, it's there, but look where we are now. It's only a symbol of where we are now. It doesn't define us. The house was torn up. All around the house torn up. Above the house is torn up. The neighbor's house, he's rebuilding it. And I said to Matt, God only knows what has happened, but I'm thankful that we are out of that house and the energy has been literally shut down.
Can you imagine? Could you imagine if you were still where you were?
No.
If you didn't leave that house and you didn't go through what you went through, do you think you'd be where you are right now?
No.
So you and I have never met. We chatted on the phone. I think it was in March, maybe February, March.
It was like February. Mm-hmm.
So then you and I were just chatting, and you told me a little bit about your story. I didn't know as much as you share now, but I've watched you come a long way. Like the difference in you is night and day. Like, how does that make you feel?
Proud. And I can say thank you. I couldn't say that before. I would not accept a compliment. And I'm proud to say that I am proud. I'm being redundant saying that, but it's a feeling that I am worthy of. And I'm just going to keep growing. You know, being halfway through the material and being in this community, and the community itself is a gift. The community is what helps you get through and grow and study and being around like-minded individuals, right?
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, April's doing the Thinking into Results program that you see Sarah and I posting about all the time.
Sorry.
Yeah. She's been studying now for a few months, and tell us a little bit about what's changed since you've started.
Well, to be honest, the call with you started the change, and knowing that I am worthy, because I knew I wanted more. I knew I was seeking more. I knew I wanted change. I started my health journey and lost the weight. So my mindset was already there, knowing that I could achieve those C-type goals, those huge goals that I had for myself with the weight, I'm meaning. And I was ready. And what has changed is I have manifested being able to work from home. I believed that I was worthy of that. I believed that it had already happened. I get to be home with my children, help homeschool, start dinner, little things, right? And those little things to us are huge wins. My habits have changed, which in turn are giving me better results. And I know that as I continue to grow and recognize certain obstacles and things that I need to work on, my results are just going to keep growing bigger and stronger. And I'm going to achieve what I want to achieve.
Do you believe that the dramatic impact that happened in your life, the car accident where you were over 300 pounds and having to climb your way out, do you think that was the starting point of your mindset journey? Like, if that didn't happen, do you believe you'd be where you are right now?
I don't think so, because we talk about two things that are going to change your mindset and impact you, and it's an emotional impact or repetition, right?
Yeah.
I don't know that I had a lot of anger and a lot of hurt and a lot built up inside. I don't know I would have recognized had we not had that emotional impact with the car accident.
And unfortunately, that's how most of us live, right? We change when we get cancer. We change when the doctor tells us we have diabetes. We change when somebody dies in our family. We change when, 9/11 happens or COVID happens. That's when we decide to change. But like you said, it's the repetition. But for some reason, we find that difficult. We would rather wait for the emotional impact to happen, like losing a job, in order to work on your dreams and your goals.
Because we allow fear to control our minds.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So for me, when I started my weight loss journey, my doctor said I had a fatty liver and I was on the verge of diabetes. So immediately right there, I was like, okay, I got to get my shit together. Right.
Mm-hmm. And, we talk about, what has changed. And I can proudly say is I'm instilling this in our children.
And your husband.
And my husband. Absolutely. My husband. He has come a long way with me and broken past barriers I didn't even think were possible at this time. And he supports me and this journey, and he sees the results, and he sees what even his language and what he believes he is worthy of have completely changed.
I know, it's crazy.
You know what I was gonna say? What's that? Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
You know what I was gonna say, April? You were talking about all the things that have changed in your life, and you kept saying it's little things. But when you look at your life is made up of all these little things. So you literally, from changing one thing and another thing and another thing, you're changing your entire life. And I think that's what you did.
And I think what was hardest for me, and it still is, I mean, I do, refer, and we have, our chats, is my beliefs. And beliefs were instilled in me from all of us, not just me, sorry. Childhood, school, things that we've gone through. And those beliefs can be changed. Right? Like, you can adapt new beliefs and let go of what's holding you back.
Yep. It's so true. It is so true. Like, we believe that once we learn something, that's it. We have to stick to that. Well, shit. I like chocolate ice cream. Sometimes I want to have vanilla. Right? Like, you get to choose what you want to do. You get to choose what you want to read, what you want to think. When I was at the monastery on Wednesday, right? Yeah, Wednesday, they told me that nobody can make you feel any feeling. Nobody can make you feel sad or angry. It is a decision that you choose. So if you choose to be miserable in your job, and you choose to gossip at work, and you choose to eat the chocolate cake, and you choose to do this, that is your choice. Nobody's forcing you to do that. People may say negative things at you, but it's your choice on how you accept them.
You know, I just had a moment thinking about what you were saying, Sarah, and so many people say, that have a shitty life. I didn't choose this life. This life was given to me. Okay, but you're accepting it every single day, and you're allowing it to be your life every single day. Is somebody standing there at your bedside every single morning saying, if you don't do this, or else, nobody's doing that shit.
You're so right.
Mm-hmm.
You did choose this. I chose to be a drug addict. I chose to eat chips every single day in front of The Bachelor. I chose everything that I decided to do in life. So you did choose this life. Joe Vitale didn't choose to be homeless, but he made a decision that he was no longer going to allow that to affect him. And now he was in The Secret. He's one of the most known doctors in the world, right? Like we don't, everything we do, every action that we do creates our reality. And those actions are based on thoughts in our head. Honestly, think about it, okay? In the morning, when you wake up, what is the first thing that you think of? I gotta pee. So where do you end up? In front of the fucking toilet. Because you think I have to pee equals toilet, right? When you think I'm hungry, where do you end up? In the kitchen. It's a thought.
That's what we're programmed.
Yes.
Like we're programmed and conditioned to believe. For example, a girl from a small town, I think all of us are, to be honest, right now.
Yeah.
I'm from the city.
Someone said, like, this was conditioned and programmed basically into me that we only reach a certain amount of success.
Yes, totally. Yeah. It was programmed into me to work my ass off for the rest of my life.
Exactly. So working 2 and 3 jobs to hopefully make 80,000, maybe 70,000 a year. By working these 3 jobs, you go to work, you come home, you go to bed, you get up and do it again.
Yeah. It's exactly.
I saw my parents do it. They taught me that, spoke that. My grandparents did it through generations, right? And that's when it flows down to us.
So my dad worked his entire life for the same company. He started on the docks and worked his way up into management, and it almost killed him multiple times. Like he was sick his entire life, and he was there for 38 years. He's been on disability now for a couple of years. Nobody's reached out to see how he's doing. You're literally just a number. When you die, they will replace you instantly. Like you're literally just a number. And he always like instilled in me that I had to work like all the time. I had to get a job. I have to get up and go to work. Yesterday, I got my birthday card from him, and he's a man of very few words, and he is not one to show emotion. Like our family wasn't one to show emotion. And he says, for my daughter, watching you write your story of your life has been amazing. I've been so proud of you as you followed your heart and decided who you are and who you want to be. Because our parents, and I don't remember this, but I know that you guys do it, is you tell your kids they can be, do, and have whatever they want. But at one point in life, they take that away from you and tell you to get a job. I remember being 9 years old and being told it was my time to learn how to do laundry. And I learned how to cook eggs because that was my time. And I had to do the dishes. And I remember doing the dishes and be like, why do I have to do dishes? Why don't I call them my brothers? Why don't they have to do the dishes? Right. But it was me. It was instilled in me that it was time for me to grow up. So at 9 years old, it was no longer you can do, be, and have whatever you want. It's learn how to fend for yourself, learn how to take care of yourself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's something that I'm not going to do with our children. Mm-hmm. I encourage their imagination. Before bed, we don't read a story, we imagine a story.
I love that.
So we close our eyes and I tell a story through my imagination, and Liberty and Chance keep it going.
That's amazing.
I love that.
That's so good.
We read throughout the day, but at night, that's our time to imagine. I mean, you can imagine anytime you want to, don't take me wrong, but that is just our time to let our imaginations run wild and encourage it. Hell, I've gotten involved in it. I'm driving my gold Jeep. Liberty's riding her horse. She's already named her horse. You know, Chance has his food truck. And let me tell you, it's happening.
Yeah. Well, it is happening because I know we named this Freedom Friday, but really, like, I'm watching you. It's freedom every day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like today's Friday. Yes, we're going to, be going to the trailer for the weekend, but not because it's the weekend. Just because today that's what we choose to do.
Yep.
Right? And that's a gift that I am so grateful to give our family.
So, what would you say to those watching right now who are like, they're ready for change? Like, they're really ready for change. They're unhappy where they are. They really believe that there is more to life, but they just don't know how to get there.
They don't know how to get there. Just jump. Take the leap of faith. You don't know how to get there? We are here to support and encourage you. And this program is definitely the road map to freedom emotionally, with your family, with your career, with your well-being, and with your mental state. And that would just give you the life you've always imagined.
And it's step by step.
And repetition.
Like, it gives it to you step by step. There are lessons and they're in an order for a specific reason, because each lesson just builds on the last. And that's where the change happens. We do not wait 3 to 5 years for our goals to hit. Like, you're talking about a quantum leap immediately. The moment you get in, the hardest part, and I know you guys can feel me on this, is just paying for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the hardest part. After that, everything opens up for you.
Because you know you want it.
Mm-hmm.
You know you want the change. You believe in the change.
Yep.
You're scared. But if you weren't scared, you wouldn't be going in the right direction.
Exactly.
I mean, think of all the things right now in your life that you pay for that are doing nothing for you. Nothing for you. Where you know, without a shadow of a doubt, you can jump into something that will change your life in the smallest way. It won't change your life in a small way. It's going to change your life in a huge way. But just the fact that you know it can change your life in the smallest way with the mindset you have currently, but you're deciding over and over again, you know, it's scary. I shouldn't do it. It's, you know, money that I don't have. You're never going to have money to do the things that you want if you don't do this.
Or I'll wait next month. I'll wait in 2 months. What the hell is going to change in 2 months?
What if you're not even here in 2 months?
Exactly.
Everything can change tomorrow. Like Brenda says. So it's $44 a day for 6 months. Over 10 years, you're looking at less than $2 a day. That's less than a cup of coffee to completely change your life, have time and financial freedom, do what it is that you love to do, be at the goal weight that you love, have passionate relationships, because it's not just about making money. Like, every aspect of your life is going to change. You're going to increase your confidence, multiply that confidence, and change lives around you for $44 a day. Hell, we can't even buy groceries for $44 a day. I was just telling my husband the other day, I said, we spend $1,000 a month in groceries. It's just two of us. Like, we don't even have kids. I said, people have 2-3 kids. How are they affording to eat right now? Like, these are the things that I'm thinking about. $44 a day. Yeah, $44 a day to completely transform your life. We waste more money than that. I wasted more than the $10,000 that I paid, because I paid for multiple courses. I wasted more than that trying to figure it out on my own, piddling in these free events and, you know, these $19 challenges and those ads that pop up and say for $29, you're going to get all the secrets to millions. I have so many of those saved and I've never even gone through them. Because when you surround yourself with people who speak the same language as you, who are on the same mission as you, who hold you accountable, who send you a message and say, hey, haven't seen you, get your ass here. When you have people who hold you to your highest standards, you show up for yourself. And then the results come.
And you show up because you take that jump. And when you take that jump, that quantum leap, you get that emotion, that excitement, that vibration. And it only continues within this community because we all experience it and we all support each other and lift each other up, right?
It's like a puddle, right? You take a drop of water and you put a drop and then you add another drop and you add another drop and then all of a sudden you have a puddle. You can't take the drops back at the same size, right? So we just keep adding to it and our puddle keeps growing and the vibration keeps growing and everything keeps growing. And then all of a sudden you're surrounded by all of these people because you just keep adding to your puddle. And then all of a sudden it's a lake, and then it's an ocean. And then you have an ocean of people who speak that same language as you.
Well, what is it? You become the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with, right?
Yep. And ain't that the truth? All of my friends were drug addicts. I don't hang out with any of them anymore. Right?
I always think about the people that, count down the years until they're retired so they can start living. Like, how sad really is that? Like, I have 3 more years until I'm retired. 3 more years until you're retired. You might not even be here in 3 years. You might not be here tomorrow. But people are so fixated on not taking a jump of things that are unknown because it's unknown. Right? Yeah. I forget who said it. Will Smith, I think. He said the greatest things are on the other side of fear.
Yes, Will Smith.
God placed the best things on the other side of fear. Yep.
He was talking about skydiving.
Yep.
Yeah.
The parachute.
Mm-hmm. The parachute. Yep. So my dad always said, when I retire, I'm going to travel when I retire. I'm going to live in Scottsdale, Arizona. He always said that when he retired. Well, he's on disability now. He might never travel again. We learn from the people around us, right? So in lesson 7, so you're going to get a physical copy of the lessons. You're going to get the digital, and you get to keep this for life. You get to keep it for life. So it's going to be less than 1 cent a day for the rest of your life. And this program, even though I've done a lot of programs, this is my 4th time on this in the last year. So lesson 7, they talk about our paradigms is a multitude of habits, most of which are inherited. Okay. So as a rule, the results mentioned above are not too far removed from the results of the parent or the guardian that raised the individual. Almost all welfare recipients are 3rd and 4th generation welfare recipients. People are actually conditioned to be dependent.
Yep.
Fear and growth go hand in hand. When you courageously face the thing you fear, you automatically experience growth that you've been seeking. Do not permit your old conditioning to prevent you from performing new acts in an efficient and effective manner, or from enjoying that which is your birthright. You were not born to be a slave to the check. You were not born to suffer. When are we going to realize that? We were not born to be negative and miserable and to jam-pack life into 2 days. We were not born to be slaves of this time. Now is your time. Wake up. Seriously, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And your kids are going to follow in your footsteps. Doesn't matter how much education they have. It doesn't matter how much work experience they have. They're going to follow in your footsteps. And then when you hit to the end of the road and you're on your deathbed, you're going to tell your kids, do more because I regret not doing more. And dying with regrets, that's pain right there. That's suffering.
My father said to me on his deathbed, make sure you do what fires your soul.
I was just thinking, some people go through their entire life not ever living 1 day of it.
No, they're getting through life.
And then you look at people who, like Mother Teresa. Like she's my icon. Like I look up to her. And these Buddhist nuns, they were so happy. And you know what makes them happy? They have a routine that they follow every single day. It's the repetition every single day of their routine. And Tony Robbins says, what did he say here? It's up here. Change your rituals to change your life. So if you're living on autopilot right now, doing the exact same thing every single day, day in and day out, and you look in the mirror and you don't feel happy, and you go 2 or 3 days having the exact same thought, it's time for you to change.
And if you think you can't, it's a belief. You can.
Yeah. So Brenda is in TIR. She joined us, and she said that she needed to hear this today because her vibration was low. So this is what what happens when you surround yourself with people on a higher frequency. It raises your vibration naturally. It takes more energy to be negative than it does to be positive. It's harder for the body to be negative than positive. And it's actually true. That's why, and let's do it again. If you have depression, how much energy do you have? None. I was so depressed. All I did was I slept for 12 hours. I took naps and I could still go to bed. I didn't eat. I didn't move my body. I was physically tired all the time because I was thinking so negative all the time. Now that I'm so positive, I'm like, look at me. I have so much freaking energy. I can't even keep my hands still. I think I was Italian, but I'm not.
My son has some of that in him too. I wonder where he gets it.
Right? It's the vibration. Even my husband, like, he's go. Like, he doesn't even stop now. We barely watch TV. Like, we might wind down at the end of the day and watch one show, but my entire bedroom was like a movie theater. I would come home from work, put on my pajamas, crawl into bed, and watch movies or series or binge watch series.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, let's go. What can we do? What can we learn? What can we grow?
If you make the decision right now that you want to change, just that mindset alone and getting into this material, your life will never, ever be the same. And that is what I can tell you to be the truth. Once you're surrounded with this material and in this community, there's not any time that you're going to go back. Because if you do ever have down days, like Brenda just said, she was feeling a little bit down.
Well, look what she just said below that.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my. That's amazing. Slowly going off my depression medication since starting TIR. How amazing is that?
That's not uncommon. It's not uncommon for somebody to manifest $50,000 in a day. It's not uncommon for people to rekindle their relationship. It's not uncommon for people to have job promotions and gain their confidence. That's actually normal in our community. It's so normal in our community. So, like, I was talking with, my husband and I, some people have, it's perspective. Some people have one perspective of COVID. Other people have another. Who's right or who's wrong? Nobody knows. That's your own perspective, right? So who are you hanging out with? What information is it that you want to receive? Yeah. So, all right. We've been on here for a while. April, thank you so much.
Gosh, you have.
I know. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I love watching you grow. Like, your story is absolutely amazing. And I know you have a lot coming up, even more that you've been manifesting like crazy. You are absolutely on fire. And you're changing lives along the way. So if you guys are interested, for $44 a day, honestly, to change your life, to create a life of time and financial freedom, you're looking at $8,000, 6 months in our community. You're going to get the free, the participant's guide is going to come with it. You're going to get You Were Born Rich book for free. You're going to get, till today only, until midnight, you will get 2 Yetis, choice of your color. You can choose your color. You get a full year in our reading club, and you're going to change your life for the rest of your life, and you're going to leave a legacy for your family. And you can't put a price on that.
That's priceless.
Yep. Brenda says, say yes. Say yes to you.
Jump.
Awesome. Jump. Yeah. Awesome, ladies. Well, enjoy your Friday, and we will see you guys later.
See you later, girls. Love you both.
Bye. Love ya.